The government's own watchdog says that Boris Johnson's health passports are unlawful, and the government continues with rapid testing despite the false positives. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the second program of the day. The official stay-at-home lockdown is now over. Restrictions continue to remain, and we know that a lot of people have now been ready to come out to spend money. They're coming out to support the hospitality sector. Well, some of them, not all pubs and restaurants are open, especially in certain places in the UK. But across England, a lot of pubs and restaurants have decided to open outdoor if they have the space. Shops are back. As Evening Standard reported, that Londoners are spending a lot of money now because the economy needs to be recovered. The problem is that there is a big debate going on when it comes to the immunity passports or health passports that Michael Gove, the guy who used to be against ID cards, is now advocating. Now, this debate is interesting because the opinion polls show that the majority of the public are in favor, despite the irrational and illogical aspects of the proposal. Now, the government's own watchdog have come out to say that this idea could be unlawful because of discrimination and because it's going to create a tier-based society. Now, if Boris Johnson listens, things will change. But we don't really know exactly what the plan is yet because the government, you have the people like Boris Johnson as Prime Minister and others who claim to be libertarians, yet they are going with this policy regardless because of the focus groups, because they think that the public wants them. Now, obviously, the reality is completely different. These certificates are there to essentially let people to have jobs or go into places, and if they don't have it, they can't. And this is quite dangerous because the Equality and Human Rights Commission has now told the Cabinet Office that these measures would create a two-tier society in the UK. Well, that's true. I mean, even the Prime Minister himself has said that the risk of discrimination is one of the sticking points in developing a scheme for protecting public spaces. Well, even he knows that, yet it's still going to happen. Now, this report that was in The Guardian warns that employers should hold back on no jab, no job policies until all young people have been offered immunizations. And that's true. That's one thing. There's a problem. You can't have no jab, no job. And it's very, very dangerous for our society. Also, plans to make jabs mandatory for care workers, that could also be unlawful, and that there is a risk of unlawful discrimination if decisions taken in this process disadvantage people with protected characteristics and those who are not able to take the jab. We know the opposition are the Liberal Democrats, people like Ed Davey, also the Tory backbenchers, Graham Brady, Steve Baker, a number of others, and also some from the Labour Party. There is a big issue when it comes to certain people in the country who can't take it. I know two healthcare workers, one of them a paramedic and the other nurse, who are not able to take it because of health reasons. So what's going to happen? Are they going to lose their jobs, or are we going to allow people to just live their life? If we said that as long as the majority take the jabs and we have immunity, herd immunity, then life should go back to normal, then what happened? Goalposts have moved once again, and we know it's going to continue to do so because there's a leaked letter that came from the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital Foundation saying that the NHS Trust is planning to make these jabs a requirement if you want to be an employee of the organization. So that's not just doctors and nurses and paramedics. That also includes anyone, the cleaners and everybody else who work for the organization. It's very dangerous. It's going to create a two-tier system. Those who are in favor watching this, thinking that it's a black and white world we live in. You all have to take it, and you all have to have your digital ID and the state having your personal data and information. That's not how these viruses work, and we know that because even the World Health Organization have advised against it because it's unnecessary. They've said that once herd immunity is there, once the majority have taken the jab, or just natural herd immunity that's been created, then it's fine. If a few people haven't taken it by choice, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. There's not going to be any new wave because the majority are already protected. But clearly, we don't have logic in this debate anymore. Now, speaking of lack of logic, there's also another problem for the government. Boris Johnson's alternative plan for those who don't want to take the jab or can't take the jab is if you want to attend a big venue where you need to show your new digital health ID, then you can instead take one of these rapid tests and wait for about half an hour and then go inside. Now, okay, we know for a fact that this has been proven by their own experts, by experts and scientists across the world, that they don't work. They are not accurate. This also, again, this is not a good alternative plan because, again, it's going to create a two-tier system, generally speaking. So this has been reported by John Johnson, who says that the government has battered away the suggestions that it could scale back the rapid testing program. So there are people who are pushing back, saying that Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock should not really go ahead with this. But they've said no, because the Department of Health had decided to order a lot of these tests, and people can actually just order from home, and then they'll send you a big batch of them. But the issue is that between just 2% to 10% of these results, the positive results, are accurate. The rest of them are false positives. Is this really the accuracy that we need? Imagine if some innocent person who's actually healthy and fit and has immunity takes a test because they have to go somewhere, they have to go to work or apply for a job, or they want to go to cinema or something, or something very important maybe. But the test comes out and it says it's positive and it's false positive. Then that's it. The whole thing changes the way people live their lives. It's also going to create everything that's happening now, because a lot of people have been patient with lockdown, the stay-at-home lockdown, and over the last year, despite the criticism, because they thought that there was a plan, that once we have AstraZeneca and Pfizer and all the others, we are going to come out and we're going to have a normal life. Well, that's not really the case anymore, because all these debates are going to create more divisions, and it's no longer about the state versus people. It's going to be people versus people. You're going to have a situation where within our own society, people will start attacking each other, obviously mostly verbally, but it's not really a good way to keep a stable country. And to be fair, we're still slightly better than certain other countries and governments who are gone too far with some of the measures. You can see some of the European countries, from Spain to France and others, who've slightly lost their mind when it comes to these measures. So still, let's be grateful, but at the same time, our government have not been completely competent. They got lucky that the operation that was handled with the vaccinations has gone well. Otherwise, every single tiny policy they came up with, from the Scotch eggs to their same household policy to the rule of 6 instead of 5 or 7, had been shambolic on what happened with the schools with Gavin Williamson back in the summer, last summer as well. It's all shambolic, but we have to call them out. We have to be objective, regardless of being right-wing or left-wing. This is about people versus the state and tyranny and illogical ideas that need to be called out. So this is the situation that we have. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on a bell next to it. And make sure, if you're a member of the channel, to actually sign up to our weekly newsletters for free. The next one is going to come out this Sunday. We have a special guest contributor, Douglas Carswell, who is the co-founder of the Vote Leave campaign and a former Conservative MP. So make sure to do that. You go on the community page on YouTube, and you could find the link there. If you're not a member, then become a member, and you get a lot of perks and benefits in return. The link is in the description, or you could find the join button next to subscribe. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys in the next video.